I'm not
I
Canadian.
think currently you are the only Canadian.
I'm the only Canadian. So guess what, kids? We just hired our fucking federal election, and Justin Trudeau is won another round, third round. So very happy. I was very scared the Conservatives were going to get in because their leader is his name is Aaron O'Toole, and he's a real fucking tool, and he's terrible. He's just awful. And the Conservatives would have just killed us during this fucking pandemic because they don't give a shit. They're like Republican lights. They just don't have as much religious bullshit, but they do. It's just not as bad as you guys. So we're just like the light version, the diet version of Republicans, ours guys. So
you have the diet heroin.
Yeah, just a little bit of fentanyl, just a little bit of nice crack. Put it in there. It's not as hard as the hardcore strong heroin. Yeah. We get just a little bit of cut shit. So yes, we had our election yesterday. So
do you know how close it was?
I didn't check the polls. I honestly didn't care. I know who I was voting for. All I cared about who fucking won. And it's pretty dry toast. We have a third party that it is like, unlike you guys where it's just a two-party system. We do have a straggler that comes in and they take votes away from the left. It's called the NDP. They got really great idealistic ideas, but in reality, it's just fucking pie in the sky thinking. So not that the liberals are awesome, but really that's it. That's who we got. And but the great thing this election was that we have a fourth party that's coming in and taking votes away from the right, and they're called the PPC. And they don't believe in vaccines, and they don't believe in fucking people having to wear masks and all this kind of bullshit. They're the Joe Rogan fucking party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we really fucking narrowly escaped something there. So,
well, we do have a two-party system here in the States. I like to call it the murder-suicide political system.
I've heard it referred to as like the same side, the same coin. You know, they're both the same on the same coin. It's just one. Yeah. It's just
no. Democrats are bad. Like I agree, Democrats are fucking awful. But I'm sorry, the Republicans are like fucking gangsters. They're not a regular political party. They're fucking gangsters, and they just want to watch the whole fucking world burn. And they really are a theocratic party.
They're a theocratic party.
They're a theatric. Exactly. You couldn't get more fucking accurate with that one, could you? Oh my god! And that wasn't even that. My body wanted to say that. That's what it was.
I felt it. I felt it, Jimmy.
You felt it, Andy. See, this is why I come on Andy's show because Andy knows me. Well, Andy doesn't know me. I wish he would know me, but Andy's my best friend. And sometimes I'm not maybe necessarily Andy's best friend, but he's the greatest guy I've ever met. And he's an inspiration. So when I get a chance to share the company of Mr. Kennard, Dr. Kennard, I always jump at the chance because I'm always working right now. I'm a tool and die maker. I fucking make parts for nuclear fuel reactors. There you go.
Wow. I didn't know it was for nuclear fuel reactors.
Yeah, I make parts for the fuel bundles.
Why do I feel less safe now?
I'm the only guy, I think, what I do, the kind of grinding and the stuff that I make, I think I'm one of the only people in Ontario, much less Canada, that does like what I do. I don't have anyone I could talk to. If I have a question, no one knows it. So, but I'm real smart. I'm real smart. Don't worry. You're all safe with me. It's okay.
I definitely feel better about our nuclear reactors.
You know what's the cool thing that though is that like they put them in storage. So when they make them, apparently they put them in storage for about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for mine to come up, kids. It's coming up. Tick tock, tick tock. Oh boy. It's going to be fun times in a couple of years here, kids. No, I'm just joking. I'm real good at my job. What's that?
What did they put in storage?
Nuclear fuel bundles, like the parts that make up the reactors. I don't know enough about it. I know just a little bit that I do, and that's all the shit I need to know.
So from what I understand, you make stuff. It goes into storage for a period of time.
I think so. I think if I understood, because I don't go over where they do it, and even where we send our stuff, it goes over to somewhere else. Like that's how manufacturing works, and that's what they didn't understand. That when manufacturing goes out of a country, people don't fucking get how much the domino effect. There's probably no other line of work, I swear. Like I'm a machinist, and I can tell you with honesty, there isn't a fucking trade, a job out there that our line of work doesn't touch. You name it, we touch it one way or another because we're responsible for basically everything made. Anything made, you're holding in your hand. This coffee cup.
It sounds very molesting to
Q-tips.
tell you the truth the way that you make it sound, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking.
We touch everything.
We touch everything, and I deal in tolerances. Like you take your hair, you split it 40 times, and I'm dealing in a couple of those fractions.
Yeah,
I could take the top of marker off, and that's generous for me. So yeah, fun times, man. So, anyways, enough about me. I want to talk about Dr. Kennard because he's just the greatest, guys? Isn't he just the greatest? Isn't this why you guys come on?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You shut your fucking mouth. He's a national treasure. You pay the man some respect. Jesus Christ, what is the matter with you? What kind of people you got on your show, Dr. Kennard? Such disrespect. Jesus. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't heard of the show Faith Not Included, I'm sorry to steamroll your conversation, Andy, but please come check out our show. We're putting on wonderful stuff. We did an excellent cat curve video. She turned out. Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, the cat care weather witch video.
Yeah. Wasn't that terrible? How she
was
just
horrible.
has the power. It's horrible. She's powerful. She's a powerful weather witch. And they had to send in a team to stop her because she's too powerful. And if you want to see it, actually just go to the Church of Heretics. And it's our first video that we've posted up.
Well, I'll tell you, not only did I like the video, but I did subscribe to the channel too.
Respect.
There you go. How you doing, Sammy? I'm trying.
Good.
I like his name. I like your name.
Oh, thank you. It's the shortened version. It's 420 Atheist.
I've heard of you.
And
I've heard of you,
to answer your question about 15 thoughts ago, Andy likes the people Andy has on his panel are very calm, thoughtful people.
What? No, they're not. No, they're not, because I'm on the show. I'm on the show. You lie.
Blow that theory right out of.
Shame on you. I'm on.
We're gonna amp it up.
Amp it up.
Oh,
We're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a good time, right?
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I can't believe those stories, Andy. Oh my God. You know what should happen? Here's the proper punishment right now for those teachers. That little girl should be able to shave them fucking bald. Strip them naked, not just the head on their hairs. Those bitches are going fucking bald. That kid should get the chance.
I think I misunderstood something. Like,
did you watch the show, Tobin?
I did. The little girl got her hair cut by another student, and then the teachers tried to balance it out or fix it.
There were actually 3 haircuts.
Oh, so I only caught. I've been looking after my daughter, so I kind of caught it. Like
the father had already tried to deal with it. He took the daughter to a hairdresser's and had it balanced out. So it was, as far as the father and daughter were concerned, it was dealt with. But apparently, it seems that a librarian decided that haircut wasn't good enough. So drug a student teacher in as well, probably because they knew what they were doing was wrong, didn't want to take the rap themselves. Probably got this student teacher to do it. Yeah.
You know, those student teachers should have a safe word or something.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, I don't think this is safe. I don't think this is right.
This isn't in our contract. I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So it's just a bunch of haircuts, eh? Oh my! So my idea of doing more haircuts, my idea of more haircuts really shouldn't be in the equation here. That's maybe not the solution, and maybe I shouldn't have proposed that. I apologize. I just thought it was an apropos that we shave a bitch bald. That's all I was going for. That's all I wanted, really. Just someone had to get a haircut, and I wanted to see a kid get his comeuppance.
Well, you got to wonder what kind of environment are the teachers in when they think, sure, I can get away with this.
God, well, that fucking doctor and you covered is getting her medical license back? Are you fucking kidding me? Is like Trumpism like trumping fucking medical community now? Is that what's happening?
Ohio used to be a bellwether state. It used to be like a purple state, but now it's gone red. And the primary reason is just because there are a lot of angry white people without college educations. There. And that's really the demographic that matters. That's the demographic that swung the state into becoming a red state, is that they just don't have enough college educated white people.
Yeah.
So she has a medical license, but what is her actual doctorate?
She's like an osteopath. That's her.
What?
That is
old people? Bones?
No. That's actually there are different types of
osteoporosis.
MDs. So you can be an osteopathic MD. So that isn't exactly bones, I believe, but that's like a subcategory of medical doctor. So I'm going to make a Dungeons and Dragons analogy.
Okay, this is good. I can understand
magic
this.
User, but you can also be an illusionist. So all illusionists are magic users, but not all magic users are illusionists. So an osteopath is similar to that. See, now I like watching Tom, because he's like saying, I don't think you're right about that, Andy. That's what the look is from Dr. Tom Foolery up there. But as I recall, that is what her so she can practice medicine. She can be a general practitioner. And apparently she can tell people that the COVID vaccine makes them magnetic and charge hundreds of dollars to train people in how to make them dumber.
So, osteopathy is a type of alternative medicine. So my bells are ringing already. I know it's a legitimate field, but
right.
Alternative medicine that emphasizes physical manipulation of the body's muscle tissue and bones.
Oh, she's like a chiropractor. She's a bullshitter like a chiropractor. Yeah, okay. So she's got a school for a lot of bullshit, and they go for like a seminary. So it's just like like a priest.
So they are and so instead of a regular MD, they have what's called a DO, which is a doctor. A doctor of osteopathic medicine. And they do the I think this is all the show is going to be, Jimmy throwing me lines and me throwing Jimmy lines. They do the whole person approach. That's what the
they get all your money, not just some of it. They make sure they get every little fucking crack.
It smells like woo. That's what it does. It smells
fuck it. You got to crack a window. It smells like woo so bad in there. Light a match. Fuck it. Get some freshener in there.
Yeah. So just they are real doctors. They just take a different approach. I would probably just
approach.
I would probably just want to go to a good old fashioned MD. That would be my personal choice.
Yeah.
Well, I got myself a new GP. I still have the one I've had for life, but for convenience, I got myself a new GP, and I had visited him once, and I went back a second time to talk about some personal issues, mental health issues and things. And he had a student doctor in with him. He asked if she could sit in, and I never care about that stuff. So I said, yeah, sure. And he had previously been a wonderful doctor, and he's my child's doctor, and I can't speak highly of him enough. But this one instance with this student, very young, attractive female doctor, and he had this different air about him this day, and he asked
Were you
me,
his wingman, Sammy? Did you get the vibe that you were his wingman?
Yeah. He asked me, could I pay attention in school or did I do well in school? And I said no, but that's not because I couldn't pay attention. It's just the choices I made and the people I hung out with. So he didn't even go into why I didn't do well at school. And then asked me one more question and goes, yeah, you've got ADD. And then turns to the girl and goes, see, you'll eventually learn that there's a couple of really key things that you just know straight away.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so dismissive and so... Look how quickly I can diagnose ADD in somebody, and I had said nothing.
Dude, at least you didn't have terminal cancer. That would have been pretty harsh.
So,
yeah, you know, you could have had my experience. I had my fucking vasectomy, and of course, same kind of thing. So not only does he have a young assistant, she's helping. They were fucking breaking in a new girl too. So early 20s. I fucking laying on the table, cock out, just like, come on, let's get this shit done. And the motherfucker's trying to talk to me like I'm his best fucking friend. I'm like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let me just pretend I'm not here.
Don't talk to me right now. Like,
Then, you know what? Like you said, that fucking asshole, he's like, goes to the girls, well, you see, some guys, you could do whatever you want, and then other guys, they're just not the same. I'm like, oh, you fuck! If he didn't have my balls in his hand, I would have fucking...
Anyways, don't kick.
God, who does that? Who does that? Yeah. He's got your ball... Who carries on a normal conversation with your balls in someone? You got a man's balls in your hands, and you're cracking them open like a fucking peanut shell? You got to have the fucking common decency. Don't be asking him about his day. Just let the man be, right? It's like when you're sharing a stall and you're taking a shit. Who wants to have a conversation, right? No one. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Martha. Jesus Christ, leave me alone.
Well, it's like the time that I got diagnosed with migraines, with ophthalmic migraines. And literally just as he's walking out the door, he's like, you got ophthalmic migraines. It's like, I have no idea what that means. Can you just explain it to me for a second? And he goes, well, are you creative? And I go, yeah. It's like, well, that's what happens. He just left.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's good enough. Do you like the color blue? You like the color blue? Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I had to go on Dr. Google, basically, and figure out what the fuck ophthalmic migraines were.
That's not right. That's not right. Did he know who he's talking to? Did he know who he was talking to, that doctor?
Absolutely not.
He didn't know that you were Dr. Kennard. He would have treated you with more respect.
But the experience that I've had with, my son's medical conditions and then the field that I'm in and taking people to doctors all the time is that it seems to be that the higher a doctor is and the higher their level of intelligence is, the lower their just everyday human social skills are lacking.
I would say that it's partially a function of what's up, Chris. It's partially a function of at least the medical system, where doctors have to spend a lot of time making out paperwork, and they also have to see like a ton of different patients every day. I think that
it's a part of that. It's also a part of the experience. They become accustomed to what they're doing, and it becomes routine to them. And they have an expectation that, everyone in the room does this all the time. It's all cool, but the patient maybe hasn't read up on it.
And see, but all of those things to me are still exactly what I said. It's a failing as a human being. You should be able to do those things and be aware that this role is going to make me become jaded or whatever. Just be aware of it and just understand that these patients aren't dealing with this shit every day. So just have some, because a lot of doctors, I would say the majority of doctors that I deal with, and we're talking like specialist level, surgeon level and things.
I have told doctors. I've told doctors before from the book Freakonomics. there's data to show you that if you like your doctor, you're far less likely to sue them, even if they suck as a doctor. So it actually makes sense for doctors to be personable and to be likable, because even if you suck or if you fuck up at something, your patients are less likely to sue you. And I have literally told my doctor that because he had really bad bedside manner. It's like, if you're nice, you're not going to get sued by people. Not by me. I'm not going to sue you anyway, but by people.
I'm glad to see Mr. Mallard here. Hello, Mr. Mallard.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
I just want to see how much of my head I can take up in the frame right now.
Cheers, Chris. I see you're enjoying a coffee there.
That's not put it up right there. Just take us all off screen. Just put your face on.
That's right.
Just
Dr.
the coffee.
Mallard. That's all we need to see.
So how's the
need to see
Shakespeare
anyone
doing,
else's
Chris? You
ugly mug.
working on a production right now?
No, I'm not doing anything right now. I just auditioned Sunday for another job, but other than that, finished the Shakespeare stuff, so we're all done. Good morning, Reverend Brother Heathen.
Hi. He
Nice
said
to
my
meet you.
name. He said my name.
Dave,
Yes,
420,
dream come true.
Sammy. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you, be with you this morning. Just thought I'd pop in and hang out for a little bit. I saw Andy was doing them things, so here we
I
are.
do things. That's what I do.
That's why we like him.
Hey, it's always
That's
great
right.
to have you back in the house.
Once you get past the smell,
Oh, right. Well,
No.
my musky odors are a selling point for some people.
I personally like his smell. It brings me back to a childhood place. I just like to close my
diapers.
eyes and bring in as much Andy as possible, and it's good stuff. I don't know what you're talking about, but
It reminds me of when I
stop
was
shit
about,
talking Andy. He's the best. He's the greatest. He's a national treasure.
it kind of reminds me of the diesel and fishy smell of my Uncle Jack's fish bus that he used to sell fish out of on the side of the highway.
ass and hamburger, ass and hamburger.
I know that guy. He offered me some free candy, and then I don't know. Afterwards, I just it's all blank.
So Dave
But
is also
very fishy. Yes.
Dave is a Canadian, and Reverend Brother Heathen is also Canadian. And
Dave, you're a Canadian.
I was born here.
Did you hear about our election last
Yeah.
night?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was very scared. I was very, very scared.
What neighborhood of the country are you in?
A little north of Toronto.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that before when you were on here a month ago.
Oh, I've been on here all kinds. I'm an old friend.
Yeah.
of
I'm out
Dr.
here on the
Millard.
West Coast. I'm bicycling distance from Neil's house and from Randall's house. Yeah.
Nice. Did you know that we're getting health? We're getting fucking people from their hospitals in, I think it's Alberta,
Yeah.
shipped to Ontario.
So
Isn't
are
that
we.
fucking nuts?
We're already full of them.
God. Who's run your province? Is it conservative or liberal?
Mostly liberal, but it's
No, but like who's the provincial guy?
Oh, I don't know right now.
Oh, you're not living out in BC?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so who's the premier of BC?
I can't remember.
Is it liberal or is it conservative?
It's just a cookie cutter person.
Oh, he's not a party?
No. I mean, like it hardly matters out here because the differences between one person and another is just where they sink their money into, right?
Oh, it definitely matters who's the premier in Ontario. Oh, it fucking
well, you guys
really
have
matters.
in Ontario about lunatics.
We had our fucking province shut down. Stores, everything fucking shut down. All you could go to was the liquor store, grocery store, get gas, and convenience stores.
If you're
That's
talking
it.
about who's holding the reins and driving the bus, it's probably Dr. Bonnie Henry out here because she's the head person on the whole COVID thing. And she's the reason why every time there's a huge spike in the world on a new variant of COVID, that it doesn't annihilate us out here.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
Doug Ford.
I have to say, I'm an advocate for locking fuckers down, man. Australia had 20% vaccination rate, and our government said, all right, you don't want to listen. You don't want to be adults. You bitches are locked down until you hit 80%.
Yeah. Well, you know
Have
what?
a nice day. And we're locked down. And we will be locked down until we reach 80%. And I think that's the best decision they ever made. I wish we did it
I have no problem with lockdowns. Like, everyone should be staying home and not like going to parties and stuff like that. No problem with that. But stores, like, they're not being spread in stores. If everyone's wearing a mask, washing your hands, stores should still be able to function. You still should be able to function. Just we should be getting away from these social events where we're in each other's faces in space. Stores, they're not being spread in the stores. There's no it's been shown like it doesn't happen. And that's we want a fucking economy after this is done. We don't want everything crippled.
You say it's been shown. Has it though?
Yeah, because they have tracing. They know how to do tracing. They know where it comes, where the virus spreads. So it's not spreading in stores. When people are wearing masks and washing your hands, like you come into the store, you pump the sanitizer, you're wearing a mask, you go in, you do your business, you get out, and there's proper spacing, it's completely safe. We have to still function.
See, I'm really dubious about that because we have very few cases compared to the rest of the world, and
you're also on an island, though.
Well, this is true, and our contact tracing is second to none. Like, you cannot enter a building without logging in with QR codes and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
and basically all of our cases occur either in a pub or restaurant or a store, hospitals.
Yeah, but not in stores.
So,
I challenge
absolutely stores. Stores is probably the majority of cases.
How?
Absolutely.
I don't understand how.
This is what we went over that MIT study, which I always go back to, that says that the 6 foot distance indoors is bullshit. The two things that are most important are whether or not you have a mask on and proper air ventilation. And as Simply Secular Dave said, probably the best place you could go to for indoor air circulation is an old school casino where they suck the air out, where they used to have the smoke, and so they would suck the air out. I'm for me personally, I am very skeptical about being inside for any period of time.
That they've done the calculations and everything, and if you stand in an elevator with one other person, no matter where you stand in that elevator, within 7 to 9 breaths, depending on the size of the elevator, you are breathing each other's air.
Things it can work as like osmosis. It's like things don't even have to like how can I explain this? But things penetrating into other things, it happens way easier. Like, there's some experiments I've done that have shown me that, like, I feel pretty confident that just like mist and things that are floating in the air, like if you get a light, you can see little particles and stuff. It's just like that normal, but like, yeah, you start putting
but full of COVID.
One of the things you have to remember is you can get COVID on you. You can get it on your clothes. You can get it on your dog. You can get COVID in a lot of places. But if you sanitize or wash your hands or put your clothes in the laundry, or, if it doesn't come in contact with you in a way that can infect you, it's meaningless. It's harmless. It's as if it never happened. Right? So we have to take the stance of wearing masks. Don't touch your face.
Yeah.
Sanitize.
Sorry, I gotta go, guys.
Wash your hands.
Okay, dude.
I gotta look after my daughter. So,
Later,
it's been fun. I'll try it again.
Yeah.
See.
Heck yeah.
So you are right from that perspective of, if you walk into a grocery store and you sanitize your hands on the way in, and you don't touch your face and you don't cough into your hands, you're not infecting anyone. Even if you did have COVID, somebody would have to stand next to you and suck air in that you breathed out. If you have
the thing, and again, I'm dubious still, and like I think Tobin was saying, I think we're underestimating how, if it's on you, you watch one person, any person at all, out in public with a mask on their face for 2 minutes, and count how many times they touch the mask and adjust it and touch their face and rub their eyeballs. And all it takes, this is what surprises me, when it first hit, all we heard was about washing hands and how not to touch your face and eyeballs and things. Now we never hear about it. It's just all wear masks.
Yeah.
And if you touch it or touch someone who has it on them, and then rub your eyeballs or get it on your face and then rub your eyes later on, I just think it's more serious than, as long as we have masks and wash our hands, we should really be able to be in large groups or go into stores again. I still think until we get this shit under control, we should not be. We just need to suck it up. Even if it's 2 years that we're locked down, be locked down for 2 years rather than have a pandemic that mutates and continues for what? A decade? Are we going to put up with this shit for a decade?
Now, Sammy, would you agree that due to directionality, that mouth breathers have a better chance of spreading COVID because they're breathing out of their mouth straight ahead, and masks prevent them from mouth breathers shooting COVID at you?
Oh, I think masks would reduce infection drastically. I'm not saying that at all.
Are you a dick nose
this
apologist?
is the thing. We don't actually.
We
don't need to guess about these things. Sorry, Andy.
That's okay. I'm just doing.
That's right. I'm not saying anything about masks. I 100% mask. I wear mine to bed just about. But I don't think we should underestimate this disease and just how infectious, especially these new variants. And I think, the fact that everyone's starting to whinge a little bit and everyone's sick of the lockdowns and that attitude worries me. I don't think we're at the point yet that we should be, starting to go back out into society like we were. But America's already done that, so it's too late for you guys.
That
Chris, I just want to say, because Chris was going to say something. What were you going to say, Chris?
I was just going to throw in there that Sammy said, I believe in masks, do this. We don't have to believe anymore. We've got studies that show us these things work. And then there's also the COVID in stores. I'm reading an article. This is actually from the Occupation and Environmental Medicine Journal that states that employees of grocery stores are 20% more likely to get the virus than other people. So it really sounds kind of like a hot spot to me. If you go in and the lady in front of you had the virus and she opened the door, and then you open the door, and then you, as Sammy said, adjust your mask and then touch your face, boom. You don't have to be standing next to a mouth breather for this stuff to happen. Washing the hand, there's just a lot more to it. We speak as though there's a lot of speculation about these things that we know are facts.
You're touching your face right there.
There's a lot more to that study about people being in retail environments, and what happens is, you're right. Somebody comes in with COVID. They have it, but they're not demonstrating any symptoms of it. They walk through the store. They go up to a store employee and ask them for something. The person hands them a box, and they look at it and they go, "No, this isn't the right one. I wanted it with no salt."
Yeah.
And they hand it back to them.
Do they wipe down that keypad every time after use? No, they don't.
Yes,
I go to Walgreens.
They do at the store I go to.
Not the ones I go to.
They have to physically.
Well, you're in Texas, Chris. Jesus Christ.
New Mexico.
At the self-serve one that I go to, they literally, when you leave and you finish, a yellow light comes on. The person comes over, wipes the screen, because it's a touch screen thing, wipes the table, and with the little sanitizer.
They did that here a little bit in the beginning.
Button, and then the green light goes on so somebody else can go there. They wipe it down every single customer.
Yeah, they don't do that here. They do it in the beginning.
Free healthcare too, Dave.
Yeah. Well, that's
Canada up here. So.
Yeah.
Actually, if you have free healthcare, you could be a little bit more liberal, perhaps, with policies, because, at least if you're a person, right, you feel a bit safer, even if you do get COVID and you're vaccinated. At least you're not going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, you're not going to be rendered destitute.
What's that?
We've sort of settled in the middle. So we have the wipe downs, but it's only during the busy parts of the day. So if you go early in the morning or later in the afternoons, evenings, there's no one wiping down anymore, which boggles my mind. I'm with you. It should be every customer.
Agreed.
Which in busy times it is, but why not all day?
What you mentioned earlier about contact tracing, we don't have contact tracing at a regular store, at a 7-Eleven, at a gas station, at anything like that. And they do have a person at the gas station just walking around, wiping them one after another. But
Where
they
do you
don't
live?
between every single customer.
I've never seen anybody wiping down the gas station stuff.
So
not at all.
But up here, we don't have contact tracing at gas stations, at grocery stores, at whatever. But if you sit down at a restaurant or a coffee shop, you have to contact trace here. They take your, they literally take your number. If you show them that you beeped in on the QR code, or they say, I need one of the people here's name and number.
You have a QR code?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have a QR. Yeah.
Oh, not from. Well, I have a QR code. I can't show it to you because I have a QR code that tells everyone in Canada that I have been vaccinated. Right.
I see.
So like in Canada, we have on our driver's license, we have our medical number on the back of it. It's one card for both things. So if you go,
why do you keep saying words and I hate Canada? Because I'm so envious even more. You have one card with like your medical number on it, with your free health care and your license.
So you can just go la 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 for this part.
Just rub it in, Dave. Rub it in.
So when we got to the point where they wanted to do the integration of the what do you call it? The vaccination, proof of vaccination. They wanted to separate it because the government system for your license and your health care is private, right? It's not information that should be shared. So they came up with an entirely different database. But what you do is you go in and you punch in your vital statistics, your name and all that information, and it confirms who you are. And then it asks you to confirm either one of your vaccination dates. So if you punch those in, it says, yes, this is the person. According to healthcare, this is the date they had their vaccination on. And it prints out a QR code that you can print out or email. If you print it out, it's too big to put in your wallet. So I just sent it to my phone. And now if I go to any stadium or whatever, and they say proof of vaccination, I can pull up the picture on my phone and they can go, doop, and that's it.
Wow.
Why not?
And it took less than 2 minutes for me to get that QR code.
Why can't we have it together more? Why not?
We're Americans. Don't talk like that, Tobin.
Yeah.
That's like using common sense and smarts.
The
We
thing
got no
is,
time for that.
This shows you the example. That's the rule, right? So if you already have a functioning infrastructure, then when a crisis occurs, you can actually work off of that competent infrastructure. Like, hey, we only have one card for everything, and
Very cool.
very nice, Dave.
So check this out. Do you have this as well, Dave? Hang on, let me see. I'll go back a step so you can't see, but I can just tap on this app and we don't have to have a physical driver's license on ourselves anymore.
Wow.
We have a digital license that still has the fancy background, and the police will ask to refresh the page to make sure it's not a screenshot of someone else's license. But that's our license now. And in this same app is where the QR login is. It is also our vaccination passport. So it's all
It's
in
not
the
like
one.
the technology is not there. It's totally there.
Right.
A cop can drive up behind me. Now they do this. They'll come up and they get real close to you, and then if you're all right by them, they will back off and then just pass you. They're reading your license plate. They have these little strips in the license plate, and it can pick up information.
The debates
technology is there. Why can't we?
The debates here are whether or not we should have licenses at all, because the big L libertarians are all about you have freedom of movement. If you can have
but all 9 of those people Who cares what they think? Right?
I'm traveling.
But they do control the political discussion in a lot of ways. Is that it's like, well, yeah, it's like the first thing I heard about having that one card for everything. It's like, wow, that's how you get Nazis, right? You guys must be overrun by Nazis if I was going to listen to Sarah Palin and Donald J. Trump and everything.
Yeah. Tobin, the police cars up here, we actually have cameras on the either side of the vehicle, on the front bumper and in the back window. And if somebody's driving down the road and their license is scanned, and they scan from 30 to 60 feet away, they all have those telescoping cameras. And they're high quality telescoping cameras. So if somebody drives by and their license comes up through the system, it only alerts on people who like don't have insurance or have a suspended license or have something like that. But the cop will be driving down the road and the car will literally on the screen next to him alert that the person driving by doesn't have insurance or the person driving by is under a revoked license. And they'll go look to see if it's a female driver or a male driver, just to see, is this the person who's like, or is it their wife, or is it somebody else driving the car, right? Is it a person who's a 65-year-old male, or is it a 18-year-old kid? And obviously, if the person matches the person with the suspended license, they pull them over right away. But the system has gotten that automated out here that, and they go through parking lots. When they go through a Walmart parking lot, they'll pick out all the cars that don't have insurance, have them towed.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, Andy, we were talking about the technology during the last election. We should be able to vote from our phones.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and now we're sitting here talking about our driver's license are on there. Hell, you could vote. It could take your picture while you're voting to ensure of who you are.
It's the same principle that the right doesn't want you to be able to vote that easily, right? The right wants to dominate the conversation, and the right wants to keep the degrees of freedom, right? Because, you know, when Americans don't even know what we don't have, many Americans don't know what we don't have. Like you and your motherfucking one card for everything, your one card to rule them all, Dave. You know, we did that. I didn't know about that until just now. It's like, and all of a sudden it's like, why do I need why do I need multiple cars? That seems idiotic. But that's the nature of controlling the dialogue, is that you only think about certain options, and unless you go outside of your comfort zone or come to this lovely channel, to tell you the truth, everyone, that's when you find out what other countries are doing, what other nations are what policy they have.
My question as a non-American, and this is probably so obvious, but if the only reason the right keeps getting in is because they make it so hard for people to vote.
Yeah.
Does that mean the only people voting is the right?
Well, you know, the right, I mean, one of the constant themes that I remember Chris and I talked about, and what I talk about here is that the right, Donald J. Trump, you know, very good at keeping their bases energized, right? Very good in always mobilizing their base, their political base, evangelicals. They're preaching from the pulpit every Sunday that hell is right around the corner. Democrats are going to send you to hell. You know, all these bathrooms are out to corrupt your youth. And so the right has its base that's always ready to pop. So I
think you answered my question, which was going to end with, then how weak must the left be?
Very,
because it's obvious. Like,
hey, I'm
more than half of the
I'm
population
for everyone, the left,
is
like,
liberal.
coming together. Let's like work together.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, like there are things that I want to start doing that I would say I would ask everyone to do, but I'm not doing those things yet.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak on it.
I'll tell you this, is that the closest thing that on the left we have had are unions. The only time that I've really gotten an organization calling me up, sending me texts saying, this is what we're doing, we'd like you to show up, is when I was in a union. And I think that's the only comparable thing. And that's one of the reasons why Republicans have been so anti-union, because, except for cops, which, but for workers' unions, Republicans have been against.
You step right into it, Andy. Just
do you think it's a case? It feels like, or my mind wants to think that it should be like this. It was previously that the majority of people, the population, were conservative. And as we have evolved as a society, they've become more and more desperate to hang on to that.
Yep.
But shouldn't we reach a tipping point where they realize that it's no use trying to hang on to conservatism anymore because it's so out of favor.
And this is the thing. This is the crux of it, is that they have one of two choices. They're either going to become a whole nother type of party, or they're going to go for the gold ring. They're going to go for it all. And we can see how the Republican Party has now become an anti-democratic, anti-enlightenment value party. And they went, well, thank you, Pastor Mike. And that's the party. That's the Republicans. They cannot win democratically. They want to grab the whole thing by whatever way is necessary.
But, you know, the United States still leads the world in things like fast food, junk food, gerrymandering,
crap. Just say it, Dave.
Police shootings. Like, there's lots. You're still number one at a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you know, there's a case to be made that the reason why the United States is continuing to do so well is just because our competition has been doing so poorly. If you look at what China's doing right now, mainland China, they seem to be intent on shooting themselves in the dick and going back to Maoist principles.
So you're winning by default.
It's still a win. You take the win no matter how you win it.
we only win because the people leading is stopped by the side of the road to hand smack all the people on the side of the road. We just run by them.
Yeah.
We're the greatest. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I didn't hear that Nabisco won their labor union fight. So now it's at Save to Buy Triscuits again. That's good. Our man John Hudson reporting in.
Oh, I see. The labor union. Okay. I get it.
Yeah. So I just joined a union for my new job, and it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Are you a union member or a casual in the union, or how does
I am. Well, I just started this today. Was my first shift, so I am officially part of the union. I'm actually donating a little extra every week because I'm just fucking rolling in money over here in Kennard Industries. But I'm giving them an extra couple of bucks every week for their political wing, for their political lobbying.
Oh.
I just recently heard about the whole Nabisco thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Before we skip too far along, Andy, you got a new job. You were doing a thing at the place at the other thing, and then you quit, and now you're back in the workforce.
I am actually doing, today is the first day for my two new jobs, because Chris, as you well know, I'm always hustling. And everyone who watches the channel, this has been a very weird year for me. I've been in and out of work, mostly out of work over the last year. So I just started one job today, and I'm starting the other job at noontime. So when I clock off here, I do some stuff, and then I just walk down to my second job.
Awesome.
What was with the half-hour gap, and how come you started at 5 to 7?
Okay, wait. What's going on? What's the question?
You mean his pre-recorded show?
Oh, was that pre-recorded this morning?
Yeah.
That was pre-recorded, yeah, because I was literally at work this morning at that time.
Yeah, he wasn't being rude and ignoring us.
No.
No, I was getting ready for not working today, so yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Dave, I was working, or fortunately. So this is the new format, at least as long as I have this job, is that I am throwing a pre-recorded video down at 9 and then do this open room at 10.
Right.
And of course, I'm with this system. I'm still able to hustle and do a blog post every day and do this, and it should work out between me and my girlfriend pretty well because she gets to see lots of.
In your approximately 4 minutes and 27 seconds a day of free time, Andy, when do you pre-record this show? Can I ask?
You asked. So what I'm going to do tonight? I get home around 5:45. I hang out with the girlfriend, have dinner. And then I'll probably be recording from 7:30 to 8:30. That means, downloading, uploading, and getting the show ready for tomorrow. And that'll take me like an hour, hour and a half. About an hour probably of actually just like filming and editing and doing whatever bullshit I have to do. And then I go into work tonight at 10:30. I leave here at 10:30 and get in there at 11. I work from 11 to 9, come here and do the whole thing over again. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like
busy man.
Yeah. And we'll see how long I can do this. I mean, if the house, because I work with people with disabilities, and my first shift there this morning, it was an intense house, but it looks manageable. That's what I'll say.
And it's good you found something.
What's that?
It's good you found something. It sounds like it's fairly close to home.
It is. Yeah. My other job, my noontime job, I'm just walking down to it.
Wow.
And so,
awesome.
It doesn't suck.
Yeah, that was one of the things I liked about living in North Vancouver, 9 blocks away from work. And I got to walk down the seawall in North Vancouver, overlooking the Vancouver Harbor every morning when it was sunny when I was walking to work. So that's always nice.
Yeah. And it's nice to be living close to work. Ideally, I'd like to get rid of my car at some point, or my car is going to get rid of itself because it has 263,000 miles on it, and at some point, it's just going to rust out.
What kind of car is it?
It's really hard on y'all's vehicles up there.
It's a Toyota Corolla, so that's why it's like, if it wasn't going to rust out on me, I would probably get another couple of 100,000 off it.
I was gonna say Toyotas go easy 600,000.
It's the rust, brother. It's
all the salt.
I had a pipe just rot off on my way home from New York a couple of years ago. Just like
hopefully an exhaust pipe and not some suspension component that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was able to get the car fixed on the cheap from the guy that I know from the mechanic I had. And so, but there's definitely a set price in my mind that if something serious goes wrong with the car, I'm just getting rid of it. Basically, it's not.
Well, Andy, just thinking out loud here, if the Corolla's running now, and the only problem is rust.
Yes.
There's probably somebody out there with a half decent Corolla, maybe that they picked up from, Tennessee or something like that. That's in reasonable shape, but it has an engine that's all bagged, and they need a Corolla as a donor car. And if you put that thing up for sale now for too much money, for more than you would ever expect to get for it, but somebody likes it and needs exactly what you have, you could sell it now and not worry about the future.
I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point unless I'm senile about not worrying about the future. Dave. That goes against my anxiety disorder right then and there. But no, that is a good idea. I really want to see how these two jobs shake out in the next month or so. See how see how everything flies, and then I might be able to make a decision then.
Or
I'm excited for you.
You could call up Tesla and ask them if they want to shoot it into the sun for you.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Well, we ought to, if now that you're really super busy, if you get the chance, we ought to make some commercials or funny stuff together.
Yes, actually, there is, it's what was I working on? I think I was working on a few stupid, so I had these bits already set up, Chris, and the guy that I was working through, he got caught up doing something, but these are simple little 1-minute bits that I already have written out, so I can easily shoot.
Is this anything to do with any of the multiple secret projects you've also got going, Andy?
I do have a secret project, which should be coming out in November. There's been the powers. I've seen some things happening that makes me kind of feel better about the secret project. And I've had to make out paperwork too recently. So like paperwork about the secret project. And that's all I can really say about the secret project. But yes, it is coming to fruition within the next few months.
Well, I'm not going to say anything suspicious, but I find it interesting that Chris Mallard was in the stream today, and so was Pasta Mike. That got me.
He's on to us, Andy.
He is.
Darn.
He is. Right. Well,
And there's Randolph Richardson.
Randolph Richardson was here too. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're in, and Tobin and Chris probably know this because being in the entertainment field, right? You talk to anyone at any time, they're like, yeah, I got like 5 things cooking. Maybe one of them's going to hit. You know, so yeah.
I just downloaded some license plate scanning software that I'm going to add to my dash cam.
Oh shit.
Well, gotta have hobbies, I guess. Andy, send me that work, and we'll work on it. You know, we were talking earlier about contract tracing. My phone has a feature in there that will notify me if I get too close to somebody else who's also registered in that network who has COVID. It's a contact tracing. Yeah. And if you got an iPhone, you should be able to go into your settings and just look down and it says contact tracing notification. You just sign up and register and it'll keep track of it. I mean, it's not perfect.
Whoa.
Yeah. The girlfriend has that.
Yeah. I got notified a couple of weeks ago that I was 2 people away from somebody who definitely tested positive for COVID.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's the beginning. It's a start. You know, I heard, was it yesterday that we finally, like it's a good thing, we have actually surpassed the 1918 Spanish flu death toll in the United States.
2,000 people dead a day, around that number, right? Around,
Well, you remember, Andy, what was it, 6 months ago? I made a video about Trump killing more Americans using the virus than Nazis and Japan during World War II. That was last year. And we're still, how many a day now, Andy? You said 2,000?
It's about 2,000. You know, the highest military conflict in terms of dead in the U.S., where it was, of course, the Civil War, and that's about 750,000, give or take. And we're going to blow through that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, more deaths than from Nazis or from the Empire of Japan. Yeah.
They had a thing on the internet, a meme the other day, and it said all the American citizens who died in 9/11, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and something else, still not as many that died, or there's more have died of COVID.
Yeah. I saw something similar to that.
And see, what we were talking about was not necessarily COVID. It's like the initial response to COVID and how we handled it during the Trump administration made it so much worse than it actually had to have been. You know, we can't really say he was responsible for all of those deaths. But there's a great percentage of those deaths that Trump and his message were directly responsible.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. Hey, on that happy note, I'm going to have to close the show down.
And in the very next breath, Trump will take credit for making the vaccine.
Yeah, the vaccine. You got to leave, Andy?
I got to close down the show because, and Randolph Richardson asked, I've heard that most people who die of COVID-19 in the U.S. are anti-mask or anti-vaxxer. Yes, that is true.
That is true.
That is true. Most people who are dying right now haven't been vaccinated.
Why am I not surprised, Andy? Why am I not surprised?
It's
I can feel the apathy creeping up on me. I'm very apathetic towards their plight.
All right. So on that happy note, we're going to do the same crazy thing tomorrow. Different people on the panel, maybe the same people on the panel. I don't know. It's going to be the regular the video I'm going to drop is at 9 a.m. I'm going to go over some of the crazier news stories that affect our community. And 10 o'clock is, of course, the open room, everyone. So talk to you later. Thanks, panel. Shamla Hamla.
Shamala Hamala.
Shamala Hamala.
And I'm